You're about to drop $150,000 on what you think is your dream RV. But here's what they're not telling you. Forest River averages around 50 recalls per year, more than any United States automaker, according to the Wall Street Journal and NHTSA recall data analyzed from 2015 through 2024. And they're not alone. There are 7 major RV brands that mobile technicians, mechanics, and repair shops informally blacklist. Not because they're being dramatic, because they've seen what happens at year 3, year 5, and year 7, when frames start flexing, walls begin rotting from the inside out, and your home on wheels becomes a rolling liability. I've analyzed NHTSA recall data, BBB complaints, Wall Street Journal investigations, and what working techs are actually saying in 2023 through 2026. And what I found should fundamentally change how you shop for an RV. Here is the thing most buyers don't understand. You're not just buying a vehicle, you're buying into a system, and that system is broken. 2 corporate giants, Thor Industries and Forest River, owned by Berkshire Hathaway, control the majority of the North American RV market. It's essentially a duopoly. Thor and Forest River together hold roughly 70 to 75% of United States travel trailer and fifth wheel sales as of 2022, with Thor at about 41% and Forest River at 33.8%. And when you consolidate an industry this much, something changes. The incentive shifts from building something that lasts to building something that sells. The data tells a disturbing story. Forest River, one 2026 analysis of BBB data found that over a recent 3-year window, Forest River racked up about 240 BBB complaints, compared with 88 for Thor and 38 for Winnebago. When adjusted for market share, Forest River's complaint rate is 3 times higher than Thor and roughly 20 times higher than Winnebago. As of late 2025, Forest River's BBB profile for its headquarters still shows over 200 complaints in the last 3 years. Thor Industries, 88 BBB complaints in the same period, but with massive variation between their sub-brands. This isn't just about volume. This is about systemic quality decline, driven by corporate cost-cutting and production quotas. Let me tell you what's really happening inside these factories. Piece rate pay. Workers aren't paid by the hour. They're paid per unit or per task completed. The Wall Street Journal documented that many Forest River workers are paid by piece rate, per unit, not per hour. And former employees described how that incentive to work faster is reflected in Forest River's high recall volume. The faster you work, the more you make. Speed over thoroughness becomes the rational choice. Then came the 2020 to 2022 demand surge. Production caps were lifted. Daily unit counts replaced build discipline. Internal metrics shifted from completion accuracy to pure output. Quality became negotiable. Add in COVID era, workforce instability, constant hiring of inexperienced workers in an industry that requires manual, craft-heavy assembly. Simulation work on serial assembly lines has shown that monthly turnover of 6 to 12% can reduce annual throughput by more than 16%, while increasing variability and rework risk. In other words, constantly training new people is a mathematically proven way to hurt quality and output. When you combine piece rate compensation, aggressive quotas, and inexperienced labor, the predictable result is this: ship first, let warranty absorb the fallout. And that's exactly what the recall numbers show. But here's what really matters to you as a buyer. This isn't just about warranty headaches. This is about structural failures that emerge years into ownership when you're out of warranty coverage and facing 5-figure repair bills. Stop shopping like a victim and start thinking like an auditor. When you aggregate mobile tech posts, dealership service commentary, and mechanic feedback, the same names appear again and again. These are the brands that working professionals see fail most consistently, not just with annoying punch list items, but with catastrophic structural and safety problems. Number 7. Winnebago Travel Trailers and Grand Design. Not the motorhomes, specifically their towables. Winnebago's overall BBB complaint rate is far lower than the industry giants, at just 38 complaints in the same 3-year period. But their travel trailers? That's a different story. And here's where it gets interesting. Winnebago acquired Grand Design RV in 2016 for approximately $500 million. And Grand Design brings us to a major safety issue. In October 2024, NHTSA opened investigation P E24029 into Grand Design, Momentum and Solitude fifth wheels after 23 complaints of excessive frame flex. 22 of those complaints reported cargo or entry doors opening in transit, and some also described slide-outs extending. Reporting on the case notes at least one injury tied to these failures. One independent shop cited in Hunter Brook's investigation said roughly 70% of the Grand Design units it inspected showed frame problems. Frame flex isn't cosmetic. It's a fundamental structural failure that cascades through every system in the RV. Doors won't latch, cabinetry separates, slide mechanisms misalign, and eventually you're looking at metal fatigue and potential weld failures. Number 6. Coleman by Dutchman and entry-level laminated towables. Here is an important clarification. Coleman is made by Dutchman, which is a Thor Industries subsidiary, not Forest River. Thor acquired Dutchman in 1991. These are entry-level laminated wall products built under big corporate umbrellas, and techs often see the same pattern. Thin, Luan wall substrates, minimal sealing, and components sized to hit a price point, not a 10-year lifespan. Luan is the core problem. Once water penetration occurs, and it will, Luan absorbs moisture, rots, and separates from the fiberglass skin. That's delamination, and it's permanent structural weakening. You can't just reseal it. The substrate is compromised. Number 5. Gulfstream. Gulfstream is a long-running, family-owned manufacturer based in Napanee, Indiana, not a Forest River brand. It's an independent company, but it still shows up often in owner complaints and tech war stories. BBB complaints and owner reviews repeatedly mention leaks, water damage, and warranty friction. In one large dealer service study, the biggest buckets of RV problems were appliances at 16%, electrical at 15%, plumbing at 14%, and exterior body at 10%. Gulfstream units, according to techs, tend to hit multiple categories at once. Number 4. Coachman. Now we're into actual Forest River brands. Coachman has been caught in parts payment and audit disputes with dealers, which leaves customers trapped in warranty limbo. You've got a problem. The dealer agrees it needs fixing, but Forest River's Coachman division won't approve the parts or authorize payment. Months go by. Your RV sits unusable, and you're still making payments on it. Number 3. Jayco. This one surprises people because Jayco has heritage. But Thor Industries acquired Jayco, Starcraft, Highland Ridge, and Integra in June 2016. And owner forms from that period show an immediate shift in perception. The consensus. They're cutting corners now. Specific documented problems include axle spindle weld failures on Jayco North Point fifth wheels that could allow wheels to break away from the axle tube, recurring delamination issues on Jayco travel trailers built during and after the COVID production surge, and warranty claim delays. When you buy a post-2016 Jayco, you're not buying the company your parents knew, you're buying a Thor product. Number 2. Keystone RV. Keystone is Thor's highest volume subsidiary, and volume is the problem. One mobile RV tech who runs a popular YouTube channel put it this way: I make more money on Keystone warranty work than any other brand. And that's not a compliment to them, it's an indictment. Number 1. Forest River. the absolute top of the blacklist, and it's not close. 240 BBB complaints in 3 years, approximately 50 recalls per year, more than any United States automaker. Forest River's sub-brands include Coachman, Salem, Cherokee, Rockwood, Wildwood, Flagstaff, Sandpiper, and dozens more. They're all built in the same system with the same incentive structures. What's revealing is the pattern in owner experiences. The real problems emerge at years 3 through 7. That's when water intrusion you didn't know about has rotted the Luan substrate. When frame flex from inadequate engineering starts causing cascading failures. Think about it. Warranties are typically 1 to 2 years, but expected use is 10 to 20 years. Components seem sized to survive the warranty window, not a decade of heavy use. The result looks a lot like engineered obsolescence. Whether intentional or not, the practical outcome is the same. These RVs are designed to sell, not to last. Here is the financial reality they don't show you in the dealer brochure. Total cost of ownership includes depreciation of 30 to 40% in the first 3 years, repair costs of $10,000 to $30,000 in structural remediation, and resale devastation. Try selling an RV with documented delamination or frame problems. One owner calculated their total 5-year loss on a problematic Forest River fifth wheel at $73,000. They would have been better off renting. Okay, enough of the bad news. You came here to figure out what to actually buy. Based on objective metrics, here is your modern safe list. Molded fiberglass brands: Casita, Scamp, Escape Trailer, Oliver Travel Trailers, and Bigfoot. Why fiberglass? Because a true molded shell eliminates the classic fiberglass over Luan laminated wall that rots and bubbles. There is no Luan substrate to turn to mush, so the most common failure mode is basically engineered out. Modern Airstreams show up on tech avoid lists, not because they're the worst, but because expectations versus reality are so misaligned. You're paying $150,000 to $200,000 for an aluminum shell, and you're still getting quality control issues. However, if you buy a pre-2020 Airstream, the construction does provide longevity advantages. Winnebago motorhomes, not towables. Their motorized units, the Via, Travato, and Revel lines, show significantly better complaint rates than their travel trailers. And finally, Lance Campers. Vertically integrated factory, higher build quality, better materials. They aren't perfect, but complaint density is far lower than Thor and Forest River brands overall. Even if you target the safe list, you need to inspect before you buy. Look for frame flex. Check the roof and walls for soft spots with a moisture meter. And run the VIN through the NHTSA recall database. Don't let dealer tactics rush you into a decision that will cost you 5 figures to escape. The RV industry is broken, but you don't have to be a victim of that system. If this video saved you from making a catastrophic mistake, hit that like button and subscribe. I analyze recall data, warranty scams, and quality control failures so you don't have to learn these lessons the expensive way. Your financial future will thank you.